Is it not on there?
No, it just says League of Geeks podcast.
Oh. Thought it was. All right. Is it there now?
Nope. You need to play with that thing. You got to turn off the lower third and turn it back on, and then it'll work.
There you go.
There it is.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this thing.
What is that for?
I'm Stan Lee.
No.
Oh, no, this is supposed to be automatically going between the two, and it's not.
Yeah, I have that same Funko Pop.
Yeah, look. I look just like him.
No.
No. All right. Welcome to the Nuff Said. Oh, you stink.
I do.
What were you going to say?
I said I have the same Funko Pop, and I have another one, too.
Yeah, the... Oh, nice. All right. As long as you're showing your stuff. Hold on. Hold on. Boom.
Nice. Yeah, you know what? I don't like the Dorbs.
Okay, wait, hold on. I can one up it again. Oh, good thing I was wearing pants.
Are we one-upping now?
No.
Okay.
But I got all my Stan Lees.
I do like that one.
I've got them all so that Stan Lee can make a cameo whenever we're on.
I got, if you can see above there, it's my Amazing Spider-Man number 38 signed by Stan Lee.
Oh, very nice.
So
we're not one-upping. I know you're going to one-up me on that stuff.
No. Eventually, I'll get the Stan Lee hot toy. Eventually.
You know, I don't know. I mean, it's cool, but do I really need it? Is that one I would really need?
Clearly don't need it. I mean, nobody needs a Stan Lee hot toy. Stan Lee Funko Pops are fine. Nobody needs a
exactly. And you don't like the Dorbs, but the Stan Lee one is fantastic.
There's a little glare there. Yeah, he does look good. He does, you know.
Yeah, I got a lot of glare, but it's not no worse than my glasses.
True.
All right, should we start?
Let's go.
Let me just get prepared.
Oh, we're live right
now. Yes. You going to talk over me every time I try to start?
I think so.
Excellent. Oh, you didn't right there. Welcome to the Nuff Said podcast. I am Rob Southgate. With me is
Alil Kanitsa.
And we are talking season 4, episode 3 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D, Uprising. And I have a feeling it's going to be another short episode because, I mean, stuff happened. It was good. I think it was a little better than last week's, but there wasn't a lot to talk about in this one. Do you think?
No, there's not. This episode, last week's was, or not last week, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago,
was
right.
Fluff. Was the fluff piece.
Right.
This episode is setting up the season. It's setting the table of, or the half season.
Right.
I think the stuff that happened 2 weeks ago with May and that ghost thing, it's going to come back at some point. But this is going to set up our weekly, our weekly bad guys. You know, we already knew the Watchdogs were a bad group. We didn't know how deep it ran, and
right.
We find out it gets pretty deep. You know, because there's, I mean, we're spoiling it. I mean, we're talking about there's a senator involved, which we didn't. And we find out why she's
Wait a second,
involved.
You're cutting out all over the place.
Am I?
Yeah. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, everything went janky on yours.
Is it still going janky?
It's kind of janky.
Huh,
Must have been a little bit internet burp. That's okay.
So where I was at was there's a senator involved. We find out at the end why she hates Inhumans, because whoever, you know.
Yeah, you saw that coming, right?
Yeah, I didn't know if it was going to go that deep. I just thought it was just going to be some kind of Hydra deal, like it normally has been.
Yeah, that I was hoping it wasn't, because, like you said, it kind of has been every time. So I liked that they went a little different, but I totally saw it coming. I'm like, it's going to be that when she said, I'm at my brother's place, I'm like, her brother's going to be an Inhuman, clearly. And why is he still frozen in that stuff? They don't seem to stay in it forever.
Well, I think every time we've seen somebody, it's been in a weird pose and something happens to them, so they break out. I don't
It's like they're playing Statue Maker.
Right. Or because like him, he might not be an Inhuman. He might be dead. We don't know.
Oh, you think he's dead?
I mean, remember when what's his face? Why am I drawing a blank now on his name? Oh my god.
Is there a because she's obviously like Indian, all right? Just from her name. You caught her name, right? Nadir, Senator Nadir. I'm assuming that she's somewhat Indian. Is there an Indian Inhuman that you can think of? Other than Peter Parker. You ever read that one?
I've read an episode, yes.
Or
an issue.
An issue, yeah. I loved that. The Indian Spider-Man. I thought that was awesome.
I can't recall off the top of my head an Indian Inhuman. I'm sure there could be one, or they could change. I mean, they could always take an existing Inhuman and say that he's Indian.
Right, sure.
I don't know if that's where they're going with this. I think how I feel about it, because I think, when if it's an Inhuman, they usually break out.
What do you mean they break out?
So my thing is
of their thing, their cocoon, yeah. So you're thinking he's dead because he hasn't broken out.
Yeah. That's how I'm.
What if there's just a little hole at the back? He came out like a slow gas leak. What if she thinks like he's in there still, but he's like, Fart Man. Could be.
He's Mist Man. I don't know about Fart Man. I don't know.
No, that's a Howard Stern property. That would not be.
Is that Fart Man? Is that it?
Yeah, he did Fart Man, which actually
I thought it was something else.
I'm calling him out because he always said that was his. That was done by National Lampoon way before Howard Stern. That was on a National Lampoon album. I'm Fart Man, and then he would play that bit, and then he just kind of took over the persona, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I created Fart Man." He didn't create Fart Man. Fart Man was somebody else's. Take that, Howard Stern. Say you don't like podcasts. I'm sure he's listening.
I don't really listen to Howard Stern, and he hates podcasters anyway. So
I know he does. Yep. So
I think he called you out personally.
I think he probably did too. He didn't like the glare on my glasses. He said, "How unprofessional!" And look at that neck, turkey neck. Okay, are we talking about this episode? We got more Ghost Rider finally, or did we?
No, there was no Ghost Rider in this.
I'm thinking of all the trailers and everything.
Yeah,
next week is going to be Ghost Rider heavy.
Yeah, next week it's Ghost Rider and S.H.I.E.L.D. Like they're together.
Good.
This week, like again, it was set up. It was
set up for what the story is.
Right.
It was also set up that Gabe is kind of a tool.
I don't know if he's a tool. I mean,
well, in the comics, he's got a little issue. Aside from being in the wheelchair, he's kind of special needs in the comic. They didn't go that route here. He was a bit of a jerk to Daisy. I think that he's not a fan of Inhumans. I think that it's going to be one of those where there's going to be, when it's finally revealed to him, there's going to be a rift between him and his brother.
I don't think it's that. I just think I just think he's being protective of his brother. I don't know about there being a rift. I think it's more.
No, not yet, but I think there will be. You don't think there will be?
No, I don't think that they're going to go that way with this character. I just don't see it. I don't think it's necessary.
Do you think we're going to see this character a lot?
We already did that in a sense with like Mac and his brother.
That's what I was just going to say. Do we think we're going to get more of this character and because like Mac and his brother had it, but then his brother started working for S.H.I.E.L.D., didn't he?
No, his brother left. I mean, I don't think he started working for S.H.I.E.L.D. I think
he needs to be like the chef for S.H.I.E.L.D. I thought that's what he was doing. Maybe we made that up.
I think we did. I think we did.
That might have been a mark my words moment that he's going to be the chef for S.H.I.E.L.D. And now it's canon.
Did somebody call you out for this? If you mark every word, you're bound to get one or two.
I have never claimed that wasn't the case. Although my track record is pretty good, and so's yours.
And no, I still my big ones didn't come to fruition, so I'm not taking any credit.
No, you know what? You should though. You've called a lot of things that I mean, not as many as me, obviously, but a lot of things that were right. Actually, I think our whole crew has done a pretty good job of that, other than Jack. Jack's not so good at predicting.
Yeah, but he's you know what? He's so good at so many different things.
He's so good at being
bad at
Jack. Yeah. I'm really hoping that I get him to do the Jacking Around podcast for our Patreon page, because he wants to do it, but between hurricanes and his doctorate, it's just, I don't know, man.
Timing's not right for him right now. But
it's such a good name. It's such a good name.
Sure. I would have preferred something else with the.
I know you would have, but you know what? We don't want to antagonize this group. I'll tell you what. I give you that name for League of Geeks.
Don't worry, it's already been used many times, I'm sure.
Right. Although you just call it Stan's dad.
That is exactly what we call it. So.
I know it is. I listen to the show. I like your show.
I just like that people use our lingo, whenever we say things. Like, people always quote stuff we say on the show. So that's always fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Well, it's like the mark my words and stuff like that. When people say it, it's fun. It's cool. Yeah. It's all Phil doing it, but
Well, it's always just Phil.
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 All right. Let's see.
All right. So what do we got here? We got the Watchdogs. The Watchdogs are.
I like this.
The big baddie, which they needed to be.
And I think this is the right direction with the Watchdogs. And I don't want them to be the big baddie for the entire season. I think that gets that can get old, but I like the idea of having a few baddies out there like the Watchdogs. They blew apart Hydra. Well, now you've got something that's a different type of threat. And you've got something that is separate from the MCU, but it's parallel. I like this. I think it's really cool.
It's needed, and we're going to have a high-powered person in government.
Yes.
Which always helps kind of.
Did you think that's where it was going tonight when Phil was like, it's time to reveal? I thought the way he reacted, I thought, okay, they're either going to expose that it's S.H.I.E.L.D. or he's going to expose that he's the Patriot. Or do you think it's way too early for that to happen? I thought it was going to happen.
I don't think that he's going to even expose it, because I think it's a known entity in this universe that maybe they haven't talked about with us. You know what I mean? Because when he went up there,
Coulson knows.
Yeah, but I think most people, because when he went up there for the press conference, he said, "You all know me, and you all know I'm a straight shooter."
Yeah, but I thought that had to do with his political career.
I'm pretty sure that it might be
the Patriot. Yeah. Patriot.
Yeah.
Oh,
the
man.
Patreon.
The Patreon. Hey, speaking of Patreon. No, anyway.
So I think it might be a known entity. Because everybody knows Steve Rogers is Captain America.
Right.
Everybody knows Tony Stark is Iron Man. There's no secrets here. The secret identity in this Marvel Cinematic Universe is rare. Most people, they don't know Hawkeye.
Peter Parker.
Peter Parker is going to be one of your only ones, but everybody knows Wanda. Everybody knows Widow. And especially all that stuff was leaked out.
Right.
So,
Peter Parker, and they had to sign the accords and everything, so everybody knows. We know this all happened. So I think they circumvented that whole scene by doing that. But they don't know, like the general public doesn't know. Yo-Yo's friend had no idea.
Well, true, but I think that's with the Inhuman part. Because they're protecting Inhumans, and humans are registering. The government is protecting them because, again, these are superpowered beings that receive their powers recently.
Okay.
They're not a team built up to protect like the Avengers. That's why the Avengers signed the accords, or whoever. Not Cap's team, but Iron Man's team signed it because they can still do the work. Everybody knows the Avengers. So I think that's where the split is. because there will be, you know, maybe the government knows, but the people don't know. Because even if you look at like a tie-in with the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon, you know, like because they've had a lot of the S.H.I.E.L.D. characters in that cartoon.
Right.
S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah,
knows. S.H.I.E.L.D. knows Peter Parker, Spider-Man. Aunt May knows that one. Aunt May knows, but I mean, like S.H.I.E.L.D. knows Spider-Man.
So is that cartoon supposed to be canon? And if it is it taking place after the events of the movie we're about to get?
I don't think it's canon because they're
just
actually
playing in the sandbox with these characters,
right? Yeah, because Fitz and Simmons were in it. Actually, Agent Carter is going to be in it.
Yeah, I read that
coming up in a few weeks. Coulson, of course, had a huge part. Like during the right after the Avengers came out, he became like the principal of the school, and like it was like a whole S.H.I.E.L.D. base where Peter can go in, and it was pretty awesome.
I didn't watch any of that, so I'm gonna have to watch those.
You know what? I think you should go back and watch it. They bring in a lot of great characters.
And it's Ultimate Spider-Man, right?
Ultimate Spider-Man. Yeah, they're ending it in December. It's ending.
Right.
And then a new cartoon that's gonna, I think it'll tie more in that. I don't think it'll be canon, but I think it's going to kind of be the Tom Holland version of Spider-Man as that cartoon to kind of
tie it to it.
Yeah, tie it more. I mean, even though that cartoon, Peter Parker's young, he's still in high school, but I think it's going to be more solo stories. Like, remember the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon that was out before this Ultimate Spider-Man one?
Yeah.
It was a really great cartoon. I think it was one of the best Spider-Man cartoons.
You know what? I didn't really watch it. I'm way behind on the cartoons. I don't know.
You need to get on the page because that cartoon was great.
Well, you know what? Maybe that's something that in the future we could do a binge of and talk about some of the different series, because I'm completely at a loss on some of these. I know you do, but I'm at a loss on some of these. You know, I used to watch way back that X-Men, the one that was on in the 90s. I've never missed an episode. Loved it. The more modern ones, though, like, I don't know, Hulk, Agent of Smash, I didn't care about.
Well, that wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad. Wait, you're cutting out again. We're gonna have to edit that. Wait, Alil. We'll edit that because you were cutting out all over the place.
No problem.
You're getting a lot of lag too.
It's freezing on me. Yeah.
Is that mine or yours?
I'm hard.
What came through sounded nothing like what you were trying to say. I have a feeling.
My speed test is so
I don't know what's up, man. You've disappeared. You're just kind of going
Really?
Yeah. Oh, wait. Now you sound like you're back.
Am I back?
Yeah, I think you're back.
All right. Hulk Agents of Smash wasn't bad. It was more comedic, more for that one was more for the kids, but I think it was more to kind of give the Hulk a little bit of love.
Well, and that might be what, for me, I'm not as interested in. Like, I want to see, I like it when it's more canon, or at least if it's not canon, it feels like it's in the universe that I'm interested in. It's funny because, like, I actually thought of this last night. I watched Star Wars Rebels for the first time. Have you watched that show?
Oh, for the first time? Are you kidding me?
It's for the first time.
It's fantastic.
I'll tell you why.
And it's canon.
Well, I know it is, but I'll tell you why it was the first time. I have tried repeatedly to watch that other one, Clone Wars, and
Sean swears by it.
I don't connect with it. I don't know what it is. And you know what? I keep thinking, okay, I'll try it. I get through like 2 or 3 episodes, and then I'm lost. I just not lost, like can't watch it. I just don't care. And so Rebels, everyone kept raving about it, and I thought, man, I'm going to get back into this same situation, and I don't want to do that. We have a Rebels podcast. I want to like see if I like it, and So last night I had some time. I thought, I'm going to give it a try. I watched the first episode. The very first, 5 minutes, I kind of had that same Clone Wars vibe, and I was like, okay, I'll try it. By the end of the episode, hooked. Love it. But it feels like it's in the Star Wars universe. It feels like it's that same thing, whereas Hulk, Agents of Smash, doesn't to me. I tried it, didn't feel it. I want to try some of these other ones, though. I heard the Guardians of the Galaxy cartoon is really good. I heard Ultimate Spider-Man's great.
You know what, though? I mean, I think all of them, and they haven't come up with a new Agents of Smash in a while, and I think it's because they've been going heavy with the new Avengers cartoon. And that one has gotten a lot better, too. I think all of them.
And that was it, too. I tried some of the Avengers, and I didn't care for it that much.
Yeah, I think they've all started out pretty rocky, but I think really it's been great. Like, and they've been doing a good job, because initially when these came out, like, my favorite Avengers cartoon is Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Okay, so that one's really good.
That's the one that came out right before this one. It was on Disney, and it was fantastic. I think you can get it on Netflix still.
Okay, I'll have to look.
It is a terrific cartoon. Loved it. My kids loved it. I mean, I remember my daughter, who, I think when it came out and I had like the first DVD, like I played it in the car nonstop. She wanted to watch it, and she fell in love with Bucky, like the original Bucky.
Okay, so so Bucky's in it. Okay.
Yeah, well, you get then you don't get Winter Soldier until like almost the series is almost.
Oh, but Winter Soldier is in it.
He does. He comes back, because like what it does is it sets up great origin episodes for like part as like a first season. Like what Disney did is similar to what they're going to be doing this summer with Ant-Man. What they did with what they're going to be doing with Ant-Man is you're going to be getting micro episodes of Ant-Man on Disney XD throughout. So you'll be getting like,
oh, I'm good with that.
4-minute episodes of like a little Ant-Man short,
because that's
eventually will tie into like a whole big one Ant-Man like movie cartoon or something.
When you're talking about Clone Wars, when they had that Aronofsky series, that original one, I loved it, and that was little bite size. You caught it at it was like 3:25. It's on for 5 minutes, so I'd make sure I was home so I could watch it. This is before you could stream stuff. Loved it. Then they did that computer animated version, and the movie was awful.
Yeah, and they screwed up with that movie.
And then I've probably watched, a dozen episodes, maybe 9 episodes. It still doesn't have me. But that original, the bite-sized ones, man, those were amazing. So when you're telling me there's going to be some bite-sized Ant-Man, no pun intended, I am all about it. Yeah. I will definitely try that.
So what they did to introduce this is we got mini episodes, and it was origin episodes for every character.
Okay.
And it was, you get like 15 minutes of Cap in World War II era Cap, and that's where you got that Bucky. And that's the episode. So that's where my daughter fell in love with it. And you see like them being shot off in the rocket, and Bucky saves Cap, but you think he blows up in the rocket. Different, than the origin.
Yeah, different story. It's not canon. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. It was more toward, and I think that's why they changed it. Disney eventually changed it to mirror more of the movies. That's why we have the new,
which I think is a smart way to go. I think the smartest thing that they could do is, even if you don't want it to be canon, like these stories are happening, but they are not tied to that. Mm-hmm. You want it to feel like the same universe. This is where DC gets it wrong. DC's made some great animated movies. They have their TV shows, and then they have these pretty average movies. But none of them are cohesive. None of them are in the same universe. And it doesn't feel that way at all. And Marvel has had that problem too, even though they've gotten closer with some things. I think that this is the right move. If you're going to make Ant-Man, make it so it's the Paul Rudd Ant-Man, and it's that Paul Rudd universe.
It's Scott Lang.
Yeah,
so when you see Ant-Man in the Avengers Assemble cartoon, it's Scott Lang, not Hank Pym.
Nice.
Although it was like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if you go back and watch the Earth's Mightiest Heroes cartoon series, it is Hank Pym, and it is Janet Van Dyne. You get Wasp. You get that. You get the formation of the Avengers.
I have to watch this show. That sounds awesome.
It's a terrific series. Like, I still have artwork from that cartoon because we printed it out for my kids. On our kitchen. like all over the cabinets. Like it's still up there. It's been up there now for I don't know 8 years. Like I haven't taken it down. Like
Big butter stains all over it.
I love the I love the artwork for it. Like it helped. Like my kids fell in love with the characters in this event. In this
in that form. Yeah. No,
and they did a great job with it because you get the Ant-Man and Giant Man. You get, Wasp. You get Black Panther in that early on. Black Panther is just introduced in Avengers Assemble now, and he's more like the movie Black Panther in Civil War than he is like the comic incarnate. This one is more of a comic.
I'm good with that. I mean, I'm definitely good with that. If it's accurate to the comics or it feels like it's part of the comic universe, I'm good with that too.
Yeah.
That's where DC, it seems like it's its own thing. Everything is, separate, and that I'm not as cool with. But if it's the comic universe and that's what's being depicted there, we've got the movie universe that's depicted here. I'm good with that.
Yeah,
but it is a smart idea to have it, if you're gonna do stuff now, have it unified, or make it definite. This is comic book. This is movie.
And you get some great villains that we haven't seen, although now Avengers Assemble is bringing us Kang as well. But there's a whole Kang the Conqueror, set of cartoons where he's going back and trying to figure out where Captain America, like why Captain America is still alive.
How's the artwork on Kang? Is it pretty cool?
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. I like the first of the Earth's Mightiest Heroes cartoon because I like that style better. It was a little more stylistic. This one's kind of trying to be, I don't want to say movie accurate, but fit in that movie universe with like that kind of costuming.
Sure. All right.
It was still great.
Okay, two things. We're going to get back to the show right now, but before we do that, I want to throw it down. So we've already talked about on Patreon how we're going to do a Patreon only. It's going to cost, if you subscribe at $5 a month, you get shows that we don't post anywhere else. It's going to be Alil and I, maybe Phil, maybe Charlie joining us, talking about Luke Cage. We're going to go back to Daredevil season 2. We're going to do Jessica Jones, just like we did with Daredevil. It's going to take a while. We're not going to be stuck like, hey, every week we're putting one out, but you're going to get at least a couple a month. I say when we finish out the season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. next summer, you pick one of those cartoons. Let's do those cartoons.
All right.
I think it's awesome. I would really like to do that because otherwise I'm probably not going to watch it. But if we said, yeah, we're gonna roll through this and do a couple episodes a week, watch them, talk about them, I think that'd be really cool because what you're saying light me up. But you got to pick which one it is that we start with.
Okay.
All right. We'll put those on as Patreon.
Think about it first.
Yeah.
Let me think about it first because it's a toss up between I'd say more modern day ones.
And we'll do a
Earth's
season.
Mightiest Heroes, and
we'll do a season. So if you say Earth's Mightiest Heroes, we do a season of that, and then after that, if we go, hey, let's do something else, we can either continue with that, or we can do Spider-Man, or we can do books, we can do whatever. Because I tell you what, I'm having a great time with the Mighty Marvel Reading Club, or the Mighty Nuff Said Reading Club. I'm having a blast with that. So this sounds really good to me.
We'd have to do the whole series though. But that's the thing because it was only out for a couple years.
Okay. Well, then
we're only talking two seasons, and that's both Spectacular Spider-Man and Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Yeah, for like if we did Ultimate Spider-Man or something, I mean that was longer than that. Then we can decide, to cut it.
Okay, but otherwise we want to cut right through it. That's good. I'm good with that. All right, back to the show. So Yo-Yo played a big part in this episode.
She did, and Mac is still mad at her, which I don't understand why.
He's like being self-righteous about this, but you know what? That's kind of true to his character from last season too.
True, but I mean, it's not worth it. Him being that angry, it didn't seem like that, and it seemed that she wanted more from him, and he wasn't, there with her anyway. So,
well, no, it seemed like he wanted it too. He was just saying, this is rules by the book, which is his thing, and it cost him a relationship. I don't want it to be one of those ongoing stories. She seems interested in him. Now tonight, it seemed like that was broken. I don't want a whole season of will she, won't she, that kind of stuff. They're interested in each other. And I think it's an interesting pairing. And Mac, when his character is not just I'm angry guy or I'm rules guy. And I think that the actor brings more to it than that, but I think they're kind of writing it that way.
Yeah, I get that, and I don't know if that's needed here because we already have the director as the rules guy.
Right. So let
It's
Mac be
redundant.
let Mac be by the book, but maybe after all that's going on, he realizes I need to put that part of it aside.
Yeah.
Because I need to have some type of relationship.
Agreed.
And I think Mac's awesome. When Mac went in there, when they found the EMP and that was a cool scene when Yo-Yo ran in. I don't know why they didn't think have Yo-Yo go in and steal the guns. Like, what are we gonna do? Even Molly says, my 9-year-old says, how about Yo-Yo? It's like, yeah, send Yo-Yo in. She takes all the guns. But when they were doing those flashes and you saw Mac kicking ass, that was awesome.
All of them. I thought all of them.
Fitz with
Fitz
the
was doing. Yeah,
he sprayed him with the fire extinguisher. And Fitz had some good action scenes tonight. I'm glad they've ditched that of like, oh, he's the wimpy little scientist guy. He's been trained, and they did a good job on this show of saying now he's in training. It was like 2 weeks of training, and now he can be an agent.
He can go in the field and maybe he's not Mac or Coulson fight skills, but he can protect himself and get involved because we need science guy or what was called Coulson
slide rule
or whatever. Yeah. We need him out there with us, and because in season 1 he wasn't able to protect himself. He had the meatball sub.
That's when he was the everyman. That's when he was part of the Nuff Said crew.
So it was good, and
we get into a fight. I'm eating a sub.
I think that's what both of us would do.
And that's why Jack's not here. He's right now probably eating a sub. No, he's probably got a Frosty. No,
I was going to say he's at Wendy's dipping French fries and Frosties. So, I mean, it ended with the unveiling of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
We didn't even get to May. They saved May. I don't even want to get into that. I didn't like that. Because one, I wanted the May storyline to have meaning. To me, now it has no meaning. Like we cured her.
Right.
We had to kill her to cure her, and you knew the minute that they were going to bring her back to life, the power was going to go out. You knew it was going to happen.
Yep.
It was so predictable. I just
so
rolled my
predictable.
eyes.
And now, actually, I didn't predict how they shocked her. I actually thought they were going to bring out.
I thought that
the
too.
LMD and have the LMD put her hand on her. Boom. That would have been kind of a fun scene. This was okay. I think it would have been more fun the other way. It was kind of ridiculous, though. I mean, when you've seen somebody shocked back to life on any of these, reality shows or anything, if you've ever seen anything like it, or even just imagine what it's like, there's no way they're sitting right up and going, "Where am I?" And then, like, why is somebody hugging me? Get me out of here. No. Think about the amount of pain, all that you would be in. It would be ridiculous.
Well, your body's in shock as is. You wouldn't be sitting up like that. You'd be, it was fine. It was a move on scene, and then we get the credits for next week, and it's going to be Ghost Rider heavy.
It is Ghost Rider, and it looks awesome to me. I'm ready for it. Bring me some Ghost Rider, man.
We need it, and I like that they had him, trapped in the.
Well, I do like that we had Coulson. I mean, Coulson is our superhero fan. He is our everyman right now, where he's into the superheroes, and I love that he kept saying, like, "Am I the only one who hasn't seen this guy? Man, I wish I was there." When they were walking down the street, it's like, "Man, I wish I'd see this guy." I thought this is really cool. That's exactly Coulson.
Yeah,
and they kind of lost that in the previous season. He didn't really have so much of the wonder, which is what makes this character so great. Why did we fall in love with him in Avengers? Because he had this like sense of wonder about him and this like fanboyism about Captain America.
Hey, Captain America trading cards, which I have.
Which would be great if. Do you have the bloody ones?
Of course.
Of course. It'd be great if when they finally reveal the Patriot, if he has a Patriot trading card. If he's like, "Oh, you're suited up. Can I get a picture? Can you sign this?" I mean, that would be like. That'd be the best.
Yeah, they should do something with that. I think you're right, and I think that's why when May was like, "You should be up there," and like Coulson's like, "No, I'm where I should be," and I think we all agree. Yes, I'd rather have you in the field doing this stuff, because I think you're right. Last season, with him being director heavy, like a lot of that stuff like got in the way. You know,
he stood behind a desk
to,
and watched screens and would go, oh, we got to do this. Oh, why did that happen? And then you go out in the field, shoot, back in the office.
right.
It's not the same. Having him out of the director role, let him have that sense of wonder. It brings us back to the character we love. I like having a different director.
Yeah.
So, and I think this guy's right. I like this guy. I like the fact that it doesn't. You're not getting the vibe that he's going to turn either,
No.
which is one of those tropes that it seems like they've used a lot here. Is people turn very easily. They're part of Hydra. They're whatever. It was great in the first season when we got the reveal. The second season had fun with it. Last season, it's like, are we going to have more turning? Is it going to be more of this? This guy, he's not turning.
No,
he is who he is, and I like that.
And I like that he takes, you know, that Phil had a name drop, but he with Fury, takes his advice. You know, he's like, I've been there. I know what you're doing.
We had the Fury name drop. We also had a Ghost Rider name checked. I love that when Yo-Yo's like, they call him Ghost Rider. It's the first time they've said his name.
Yeah, that's true.
So that was cool. Man, is that it? Do we have anything else?
Yeah.
Fitz is now like the science MacGyver. We have that. Give me some corks.
Competing with MacGyver.
Yeah.
The real MacGyver. The Havoc MacGyver.
Not MacGruber.
True. I hated that movie. I really did not like the movie.
And they're making a sequel. And you know what? I think that guy is really funny. Do you watch Last Man on Earth?
I've seen it. I don't watch it every week, but I've seen it.
It's a funny show. Especially the beginning when you watch. I mean, we've watched the whole thing. We binged it, and it's funny.
Oh, when he's by himself, it was great. I think
that was amazing.
I think I fell out when other people started showing up, and it kind of got.
You got to stay in there, because he's a complete ass through the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then his brother shows up, and it's Jason Sudeikis.
Okay.
And he's more together than the guy, but he's than Will Forte. But like as soon as they get together, they say their stupid jokes and go boom, burn, and you're like, oh, it's so obnoxious. It's really funny.
Nice.
So all right, I'm going to end it before we fall into that hole. Thank you everybody for listening. Follow us on Twitter at Nuff Said Podcast. I think you can see it on your screen there. You can follow me at R Southgate. Find us on the website. Just go to southgatemediagroup.com, Nuff Said Podcast. Find us on Facebook. Like us there. Follow us there. Get in conversation there. What is this? Wednesday night? Wednesday nights, we will be here live starting right around 8 o'clock doing this show. There is a chat room. So if you are free, you want to watch the show, get in there and chat with us. We'll talk about it right here on the air. Same thing with anything tweeted to us or anything on Facebook. We'll bring it up. We want to get conversation going. Alil, give your information.
You can follow me at the League of Geeks podcast, and that's Geeks with a Z. And on Twitter, it's at LOGEEKZ.
Yeah. All right. That's it. Until next week. Nuff said.